What if I told you that there is an easy mode that exists in a Dark Souls game?
It's not true. That's impossible.
Well, technically I would be lying, but hear me out. For years, there have been many people that have seen and played the From Software games, you know, Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, Elden Ring, so on. So on, right? There is more than just those 5, right? Anyway, there have been many people that have wanted these games to have an easy mode, and then there have been many people who are strongly against From Software games, these Souls games, having an easy mode. I've heard both sides of the argument. People who want an easy mode argue that it would invite more people to try these games, therefore From Software as a company would make more money and just increase their fan base, possibly permanently.
Objection!
But then you have the other side who's saying no, that wouldn't happen. In fact, there's a good chance that the opposite would happen. If you added easy modes to these games, the loyal fan base would feel a sense of betrayal and disappointment. And they just feel like these games shouldn't have an easy mode. Not every game should have a difficulty setting. And by making these games have an easy mode, you are betraying the fan base, and therefore you might lose fans rather than gain fans. And overall, you just kind of messed up. Here's the thing. I am one of those people that do wish that the From Software games had an easy mode. But before you roll your eyes and get mad at me for saying that, I completely understand why they don't. There are lots of people who like hard video games, that like a good challenge or a not so good challenge. Like, they'll admit this is kind of BS, but they still want to beat it anyway. And when they do, they get a huge satisfaction out of it. And I think that's completely fine. I think it's great. If you're one of those people, more power to you. But as for myself, I usually like to turn my brain off when I play video games. That's why more often than not, when I play a game, I'm not really concerned about like the story or anything. If a game comes along that has a really good story, I have to like get myself in the right kind of mood to play it. But with the From Software games, those games, their story's usually told strictly through visuals. There's very little dialogue. And that's why it's always intrigued me, and I've always wanted to be good at those games, but at the same time, I haven't wanted it that badly. I've tried a few Souls games and Souls-like games, and they were all just too hard for me. I'm not about to say that they messed up and made a bad game because it's too hard for me. It's not a bad game. The Dark Souls games aren't bad. Elden Ring's not bad. I've tried Elden Ring. I suck at it. No, I haven't beat it. Probably never going to. But in the time that I have played it, I can admit it is a well put together game. Looks great, sounds great. The enemies are really creative in their design. Everything about it is really cool. It's just really, really freaking hard. And I don't have the patience to get good at a game like Elden Ring. But that's on me. That's not on the developers. Still, nonetheless, as the years go by and the From Software games come out, there's no easy mode added. But there might already be a game that did that. At least from my perspective. You see, back in 2019, a game came out that is basically a Souls-like game, only anime, which is why I can talk about it on an anime YouTube channel. Ha! If you don't know what the game is called, it's called Code Vein. I had never heard of this game until recently. It's been sitting in my PlayStation library because I got it for free, I don't know how long ago, but a while ago. And when I saw a little bit of what it was like, I was like, oh, it's a Souls-like game. No thanks. I'll still put it in my library because it's free, but I'm probably never going to play this. But not too long ago, I was going through my PlayStation library looking for something to play, and nothing was really catching my eye, except Skyrim. But I already played and beat Skyrim, so I was like, I should probably pick something else. And then I saw Code Vein, and I was like, I know this is supposed to be a Souls-like game, but I'm gonna try it anyway. And I can tell you in all honesty, I'm really glad I tried it, because this game is actually not that hard. I mean, it's still hard, but it's not that hard. It really is Dark Souls if it had an easy mode, which means it's still going to be a challenge for someone like me who's more of a casual gamer rather than a hardcore gamer. It's still gonna get frustrating every now and then. I mean, I only got frustrated like a little bit though. But anyway, the point is, if you've been looking for a Dark Souls but with an easy mode, I highly suggest Code Vein. And no, this is not sponsored. Alright, this game came out 5 years ago. Why would it suddenly be sponsored? That makes no sense. I just wanted to spread the word because I know there's a lot of people like me out there who have always wanted to get into the Souls games, but you just don't have the patience to do it. You just don't have the patience to get good. And you just end up moving on somewhat regrettably. Try Code Vein. It's like Dark Souls, but not as hard, not as unforgiving. I mean, if you die and you're holding a bunch of experience points, you do still lose those experience points and you have to go back and get it. And if you die again before you go back and get it, they're gone forever. And that does suck. But it sucks less here because, like I said, Code Vein is not as hard as Dark Souls. I feel like I gotta say that 10 or 15 times so you can remember the point I'm trying to hammer home with this short video. But yeah, that's really all I had to say. That's it for the video, guys. Nothing big, nothing extravagant. I'm not here to talk about the story because I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to the story because it didn't interest me. Like when I'm playing this game, I usually have like The Simpsons playing in the background or One Piece. But the game still plays well. It does, and it looks good. If you have a PS4 or a PS5, you can play it on that. I don't know if it's available on any other console. I didn't look that up. But anyway, I'm not exactly sure how far I am in the game. I haven't beaten it yet, but I can say so far, I've run into some difficult obstacles, but nothing I couldn't handle. I died a few times, sure, but I eventually got past it, and I felt that huge satisfaction that Souls players get when they play those games. That's what I get from Code Vein, and it makes me enjoy the game more than I thought I ever would, and I feel like it could do the same for you. So you want that easy mode Dark Souls game? No! Get Code Vein, because that's Dark Souls if it had an easy mode. Give it a chance. Give yourself a fair chance when you play the game. You just might surprise yourself. If I can do it, you can do it.
Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, be sure to do so by clicking here. If you are subscribed, we thank you for keeping the Animate Dream alive. Be sure to check out our other content here and here. For even more content, be sure to check out the rest of our channel and be sure to follow us on Twitter by clicking the link in the description below. I'm Felicia, and I'll see you next time.